Hello, it's News with Sunny on 5 by 5. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about some strange weather. So, this first article I have is the Inuit, oh my goodness, elders are warning the world and NASA that the Earth has shifted. This was an article I found in Good Home Design, I guess. And I don't see an author, but if I have an author, I'll give them credit. So, global climate change. The Earth has shifted, say Inuit elders. A new warning has come to NASA from the Inuits. They are warning that the change in climate is not due to global warming, but rather because the Earth's shifting a bit. The Inuits are local people that live in the Arctic regions of Canada, the United States, and Greenland, and they are excellent weather forecasters, and so were their ancestors. Presently, they are warning NASA that the cause of the change in weather, earthquakes, etc., are not due to global warming as the world thinks. They state the Earth has shifted or wobbled. Their sky has changed. The elders declared that the sun rises at a different position now, not where it used to previously. They also have longer daylight to hunt now. The sun is much higher than earlier, and it gets warmer much quickly. Other elders across the north also confirmed the same thing about the sky changing when interviewed. They also allege that the position of the sun, moon, and stars have all changed, causing changes in the temperature. This has also affected the wind, and it is difficult to predict the weather now, and according to them, predicting weather is necessary on Arctic. All the elders confirm that the Earth has shifted, wobbled, or tilted toward the north. This information provided by the Inuit elders caused a great concern in the NASA scientists. So there was that. Okay, and going along with that, I'm going to read one more article from ScienceVibe.com. Inuit elders warn NASA the Earth has shifted alignment and wobbled. I don't see an author, but if I do, I'll give them credit. Inuit elders know a lot, but this is amazing advanced insight that makes one wonder how. When you scroll through your Facebook newsfeed, you're probably seeing a lot of comments about how catastrophic natural events have been increasing lately. Some people attribute this change to global warming, while others are determined to prove it's all part of a natural cycle. So, which is it? In July of this year, an iceberg 4 times the size of London broke free from the Larsen C ice shelf in Antarctica. A68 measures 5,800 square kilometers, making it one of the largest icebergs to ever break off Antarctica, so it's no surprise that it has researchers concerned. According to reports from USA Today, the temperature in the regions are up to 5 degrees higher than they were a half century ago. That number could jump to 7 degrees by the end of the century. Sadly, A68 could be just the beginning of the continent breaking apart. Scientists have been watching the remaining cracks as they grow toward the Bodden ice rise, which provides critical structural support for the remaining ice shelf. Some scientists believe this is the beginning of the sixth mass extinction for our planet. Thousands of species on Earth are at risk of disappearing forever if we don't change our trends. In the last few decades alone, habitat loss, overexploitation, invasive organisms, pollution, toxification, and more recently, climate disruption, as well as numerous interactions among these factors have driven to the catastrophic declines in both the numbers and sizes of population of both common and rare vertebrate species. The Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences Journal warned. According to the Inuit elders, natives to the Arctic regions in Canada, the US, and Greenland, the Earth has shifted. Historically, the Inuit elders have been excellent weather forecasters. So just take that for what you want and you decide. This next article is from Fox 5 New York, and it's Jupiter and Saturn to align in the sky this month as Christmas star. And this is by Chris Ciata? Cia? Anyway, so seen in this photograph is the beautiful spiral arm of our galaxy, stars of the constellation Libra, constellation Scorpius, planet Jupiter, bright spot at the center, majestic Saturn at 8 o'clock of Jupiter. This photo was taken at Varasgaran D. The two largest planets in the solar system, Jupiter and Saturn, have fascinated astronomers for hundreds of years. But the two gas giants will do something next month not seen since the Middle Ages. They will look like a double planet. The rare occurrence will happen after sunset on December 21st, 2020, the start of the winter solstice. Alignments between these two planets are rather rare, occurring once every 20 years or so, but this conjunction is exceptionally rare because of how close the planets will appear to one another, said Rice University astronomer Patrick Hartigan in a statement. In quotes, you'd have to go all the way back to just before dawn on March 4th, 1226 to see a closer alignment between these objects visible in the night sky, end quotes. Between December 16th and December 25th, the two planets will be separated by less than a full moon, Hartigan added. A photo of Jupiter taken from 7,145 miles away from the NASA's Juno CAM, NASA JPL Caltech SWRI/MSSS Roman Chachinko. On the evening of closest approach on December 21st, they will look like a double planet, separated by only fifth the diameter of the full moon, Hartigan explained. For most telescope viewers, each planet and several of their largest moons will be visible in the same field of viewing that evening. Back in 1614, German astronomer Johann Kepler suggested that a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn may be what was referred to as the Star of Bethlehem in the Nativity story, while others have suggested that the three wise men could have been a triple conjunction of Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. But it's unknown if the Christmas star was a real astronomical event, like a planetary conjunction or a comet. This month's celestial event can be observed anywhere on Earth, but Hartigan noted the further north someone is, the less time they have to catch a glimpse. Jupiter and Saturn in the night sky over Broward County, Florida on July 28, 2020, and WTBT. NASA says the conjunction will appear spectacular with a backyard telescope or even with the naked eye. Stargazers should try to see the event next month or risk waiting a long time for the next occurrence. The two planets won't be this close to each other again until March 15th, 2080, and sometime after the year 2400. Hartigan explained. Okay, so just to be clear, this was out December 3rd and updated December 4th. But it is this month, December 21st, 2020, that is supposed to take place. All right, so this next one is, I don't know if you've seen this, but it was supposedly the Northern Lights were supposed to be very visible this week. However, I found this article, Northern Lights, a big miss, U.S. Space Forecaster says, December 10th, 2020. File. In this November 8th, 2004 file photo, the aurora borealis lights up the sky northwest of Lawrence, Kansas. The phenomenon is also called the Northern Lights, occurs when electrically charged particles from the sun enter the Earth's atmosphere. Robert Rutledge of the U.S. government Space Weather Prediction Center said Thursday, December 10, 2020, that stargazers in the continental 48 states have very little chance of seeing the Northern Lights this week, despite an initial promising forecast. And the credit is Scott McClurg, the Lawrence Journal World via AP file. And this article comes out of apnews.com. All right, Portland, Maine. An initially promising U.S. forecast for the Northern Lights has gone bust. Stargazers in the continental 48 states have essentially zero chance of seeing the astronomical phenomenon this week, the heads of operation at the U.S. government's Space Weather Prediction Center said Thursday. Curtains of color paint the night sky when the northern lights or aurora borealis are visible. Some early reports had suggested they would be viewable as far as south as Illinois this week. Robert Rutledge, the lead of operations at the Space Weather Prediction Center, said the agency had hopes for Thursday and Friday, but it downgraded its forecast because the chances turned out to be a big mess. He called the disappointing news not incredibly unusual in space weather forecasting. The silver lining for skywatchers is that the conditions in the coming months and years look more favorable, Rutledge said. New England stargazers had hoped to catch a glimpse of the northern lights, but clouds would have made it difficult, said David Clark, a member of Penobscot Valley stargazers in Maine. I'm sure people are going to try, he said. I don't have high hopes for it. All right, and that's your weather news from 5 by 5.